Welcome back, folks. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Once again, we're at the PLU E-Sports Bowl 1, presented by Mackenzie Bond Hair at Salon 1121. And again, today we have Dylan, What's the Dill Foreman, the number 2 seed of this tournament, taking on 4 seed and Cinderella Story, Garrett, Strictly Business, Hittner. And before we get this underway, what's your prediction for today's game?
I really feel that this is going to be another one of those classic grind-it-out type matchups. I think it's going to come down to who makes the biggest mistake in the most important time, and whoever can capitalize on that will walk away with the first ever Esports Bowl championship.
And with that comes eternal bragging rights, a PLU Intramurals t-shirt, and a $20 Chipotle gift card.
And there is so much more on the line for this game than probably there has been all year long here at PLU.
This is pretty much the biggest collegiate achievement either one of these two guys could have. Dylan, a member of the basketball team, they made a semifinal run at one point. Not really a big deal. Garrett Hittner, a conference champion in the 4x1. I mean, who really cares about that? It's all about winning this Esports Bowl 1. And, it's a small event this year. There's only 5 teams in the tournament. But, we expect in a few years it might expand to 64 teams. There may be play-in games. It might be 68. Who knows?
Yeah, the growth is going to be absurd after the people see this first championship game. Everyone's going to want to be involved with it a year from now, so it'll be exciting.
Indeed, and we're just about ready to kick off here with a coin toss.
Stanford, Dylan has won, and he is elected to kick the ball away to Strictly Business Garrett Hittner. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, you kind of skirted your actual prediction of who you think is going to win. You just said whoever makes a mistake will lose. Who's making that mistake? I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
It's up in the air. It's up in the air. Of course, we can go back to that game that Dylan Foreman played against Zach Goff, and Zach made a crucial mistake near the end of the first half, and he lost.
A rookie mistake. Didn't realize there was only 12 seconds left. Did not call a timeout.
Baby. Whoa, baby. Hittner with a huge kickoff return.
And Strictly Business, when he played me, he was big on the touchback, taking the knee. So a bold move from Strictly Business. We'll see how this plays out as both teams come out. First offensive set for Ohio State and Garrett Hittner.
Foreman thumbing through his defensive plays.
And this entire tournament we've played at neutral stadiums, and we're at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, home of the USC Trojans. Completed pass there for a first down.
Oh, no huddle. He's going quickly. Oh,
I like that style. Keep the defense on their toes. And in a game like this, there's always some gamesmanship of, are you sneaking a peek at the other person's plays?
I highly suspect a lot of screen peeking to be going on here today.
I think you're right. It's a game, it's a tradition as long as video games have been around.
Especially if you grow up playing it. It's just something you do. You don't even realize you're doing it at this point, but...
Yep, I think I remember first doing that in Tecmo Bowl back in the day. And
Man, you are old.
I am old. Thanks, Christian.
He passed it to the wrong guy on that one.
Other side hit there.
Wide open.
Made him pay for that one.
Big play here. Looks like it's 3rd and 5.
Kind of a crucial down here for him.
Call it fringe field goal range too, right? That's not going to be an easy kick.
Yeah, I mean,
he has to go that
that's
far.
If you're going to go for a field goal. I mean, you're kind of in that maroon zone.
New point.
Big completion there. Keep the drive alive. Ice water in his veins.
Strictly Business.
That's a guy who's not afraid to let it all hang out when it matters most.
New set of downs for Strictly Business. As he brings his team to the line, it will be a handoff up the middle, and brought down near the line of scrimmage is Hittner.
And it's been a bit of a grind for us on the broadcasting circuit. Yesterday we were doing IM softball, that championship game. Today we're doing the Esports Bowl 1, presented by Mackenzie Bond Hair at Salon 1121.
Another run play. Bit more positive on this attempt. That's a 5-yard pickup.
And as we talk about our presenting sponsor, have either one of these two competitors gone to Mackenzie Bond Hair at Salon 1121?
I highly doubt either of them have. I was just there.
But you're a disciple of that venue.
Yes, I frequent the salon. Your
hair looks great, Christian.
Thank you. It has its own Twitter page. Not really.
Your hair does, or
my hair?
Oh wow. Okay. Christian Bond Hair.
This could be. Oh.
Stuffed at about the 3-yard line there.
Fans starting to pour into the baseball field to check out what's going on here today.
Well, it's certainly a pretty big deal. As Hittner on about the 2-yard line here.
Slide over.
Hand off, and he's stuffed. It's still going with the no huddle.
Moving quickly here. About 2 minutes and 45 seconds remain in this first quarter.
And again, it's a 5-minute quarters. In the semifinals, we played just 3-minute quarters, so endurance will come into play today in this ball game.
Here's the handoff, and into the end zone is Hittner. It's the first touchdown of the game, as Hittner puts together an impressive drive that really started with that large kick return.
It did. Very uncharacteristic of Hittner. Usually he's, I'm just going to take the knee and grind it out offensively, and he's going for 2, and that's just been an MO for him all season.
It's the right way to play football.
It is, especially video game football, but he is denied there by that Stanford defense. It will remain 6-0 after the opening possession. That chewed up about 2 minutes, 30 seconds thereabout. It's about half the quarter.
Don't love the play call there, going for 2. You're 2 yards, 3 yards out, just pound it down the gut. Instead he goes with the sweep.
Yeah, got a little fancy there.
One goes out of the back of the end zone, and we'll see what Foreman can do.
I haven't been too impressed with his offense thus far this tournament, but maybe that will change today. Definitely a grinded out offensive style that he runs. Big on time of possession. And he's going to pass.
Yeah, right up the gut. Easy completion there for Foreman.
There's a late spin move there. Didn't really do much, but flashing some moves out there.
Looks like the same formation. Ball is snapped. It's going to be a run play. And a big pickup there as Foreman is going to work offensively.
And that is the play that you'd expect from Foreman, that just grinded out to the halfback. And a couple more fans come pouring in today as this thing's starting to get some legs. Ooh, almost got him in the backfield. Almost tackled both the quarterback and running back on that play.
Let's see. Yeah, he does pick up the first down on that play.
But that could have been a disaster with that handoff.
A little bit of an audible at the line of scrimmage. You see players shifting around.
Going to the straight I formation, and he's going to pass out of it again. Short pass play. Eaten up by that Ohio State defense. Garrett Hittner electing to wear the alternate helmets today for Ohio State. A shockingly blazing move for a guy who's usually pretty keeping things standard.
Yeah, we saw it even when he walked in. A little bit more swagger today.
A little more flash, a little more style.
Another pass down the middle of the field. That one is broke it up.
I guess that's what happens when you're days away from a PLU degree, I guess. You get a little cocky. Hopefully that cockiness, or swagger as you called it, doesn't affect his play calling today.
Why are you going with the negative word?
I gotta give him some crap every once in a while. Hittner logs a lot of hours in the office.
One of the best. Oh, no interception. Hittner comes up with the ball. It's going to be a huge turnover for Foreman, and Hittner will get to try and add on to his lead here in the first quarter.
And this is classic Garrett Hittner here. Interception after scoring a TD. That's exactly what he did to me, and that turned out to be the differential in that ball game. Of course, one wonders why I used the Wisconsin playbook in that semifinal matchup. I know internet commentators give me a lot of heat for that one, rightfully so.
See, here's the thing. I've done 2 broadcasts with you in 2 days, Mark. Why are you making it about yourself?
Well, you know, just naturally happens. I don't know.
This is the second day in a row. It's not about you. You're watching, not playing.
That's true. But speaking about back-to-back broadcast, yesterday we negated to give a shout-out to Kai Osaki. Again, Kai Osaki is a member of the PLU Sports Information staff. She's our camera operator at volleyball and basketball. Really good at it. She won the intramural softball title yesterday with Stadium Slammers, their 3rd in a row. I was supposed to say her middle name on air during that broadcast. In the euphoria of the moment, the celebration, I just got swept up in it, and I forgot to announce her middle name. So here in the first quarter of the E-Sports Bowl 1, presented by Mackenzie Bond Hair at Salon 1121, I'm going to say it. Kaylin Leonakala Lekinkano Amiko Osaki. Probably butchered that one.
How many letters?
Probably the most letters I've had in a student employee.
That's more than that's more than there are in the alphabet.
Yeah, so shout out to the Flying Hawaiian. Great job all year.
However, she did draw 2 walks in a slow pitch softball yesterday.
Yeah, she did do that.
Oh, no! Reception! Foreman comes up with the ball. Hittner gives it right back to Foreman. Oh,
but
but
there's
we
going
got
to be a
flag.
flag on the field. Roughing the passer. Oh, boy.
You can see the body language.
And he is just straight up dejected right now.
Devastation.
Brutal.
Oh, my goodness.
Brutal. Was that the mistake you were alluding to? That could cost somebody the inaugural PLU E-Sports Bowl 1 championship.
Yeah. I mean, it very well could be if Hittner turns this into a touchdown and extends that lead.
So Hittner bailed out on that in a long run play there.
Oh, he answers.
12-yard run by Carlos Hyde. Wow. That's a name I haven't heard for a while. But again, we have the player names from the 2013 college football season. Again, this is the last edition of NCAA football that they created before the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit put the kibosh on collegiate sport video games. And for me personally, that was a tragic moment in time.
End of the first quarter. Our score, it's Hittner 6, Foreman 0 as we start the second quarter. Pretty intense matchup thus far. Foreman knows how big of a mistake that penalty was on the interception. See if he can keep Hittner out of the end zone here.
I'd be curious to see some stats on time of possession. I feel like Ohio State has had the ball in offense a majority of this game thus far, although it's still plenty of ball game to be played. Now, Christian, strategy changes a bit when you go from playing 3-minute quarters versus 5-minute quarters. You know, 3-minute quarters you can kind of get away with very few possessions. You can grind it out. You could have the ball for over a quarter. It's a little tougher to do with the 5-minute quarters.
In my head, I feel like you're going to see a much more, and we have seen a much more balanced attack from both sides, trying to run the ball and eat some of that clock.
And certainly some excitement. Already a touchdown, 2 interceptions, so turnovers aplenty, and that brings up 4th down.
Good stop there by Stanford. We'll see what Hittner chooses to do. He's going to take the points, I think.
Look out for the fake, though. I feel like that could be in his repertoire.
Especially with the lead here in the early going.
And 9 points is a pretty sizable lead in a game like this.
Make the kick.
And he missed it.
The kick.
He pushed it.
Oh, he missed the kick.
Wide left.
Oh, my goodness.
Could that be the mistake we're talking about? Both teams have already made pivotal mistakes early in this game.
Oh, so Foreman regains possession, trailing still by just a touchdown.
Trying to play it safe. It comes back to bite him. Wow. People are going to question that one.
Nice little run play to get a little bit of offensive momentum building up here for Foreman. You know, the extra points could loom large as Hittner has already failed to convert his first 2-point conversion.
And that was a bugaboo for me in the semifinals. I don't think I made a single extra point as I continue to talk about myself.
Why is that about you?
Well, it's relevant to this tournament at least. We need to talk about some of the losers of this tournament. We'll talk a little bit about Goffalopoulos for a while.
For what reason?
Zach Goff, the freshman.
He scored 0 points.
Well, his clock management skills were abhorrent in that game.
Okay.
Driving down the field right before the second half, or the second quarter was about to expire, and just let the clock run out. He's about on the 10-yard line at that point.
About 3 minutes left here in the first half. There's a nice little screen play, one man to beat. Nice tackle in the open field.
I would have liked to see a juke move on that defender in the open field. He just kind of ran into him. I don't know. That was a suspect decision while on the run.
Handoff up the middle, breaks a tackle.
And director of intramurals, we'll check that. Assistant AD for recreation is here. And he presented the T-shirt that will go to the winner, along with that $20 burrito gift card, and more importantly, lifelong bragging rights of being the inaugural champion at the PLU E-Sports Bowl, presented by
another interception! Hittner comes up with a pick.
Jeez.
And Foreman has turned the ball over twice in the first half. Oh, but here's a penalty!
Another roughing the kicker, or roughing the quarterback.
Oh my goodness, both of these guys can't figure out how to take advantage of the other's mistakes.
Playing a little too aggressively on those quarterbacks. Targeting is kind of a factor in this game.
Oh, my goodness.
And that wipes off what could have been Hittner's second interception of the game. He's kind of been a ball hawk all tournament. We'll see if Foreman tries to go to the air again or if he just keeps it on the ground.
Foreman with a...
Foreman's going to have nightmares about throwing the football after this.
Wise open, didn't hit him. Instead, almost throws another interception.
Yeah, you kind of wonder why was wide open with that cut route there out of the backfield.
An extremely easy pass to complete.
Yeah.
Terrible decision-making by Foreman.
You got to go to those check-down receivers. You can't just go to the number one receiver all the time. I mean, Hittner's a veteran. He knows how to cover those number one, number two guys. You need that slot receiver, the guy out of the backfield, to make him plays.
Nice little run there from Foreman. Looking at a 3rd and 7 with 1:55 left in the first half.
It should be noted, Foreman's, I think his left guard is very fatigued right now, as you can see when they're choosing plays, who's fatigued and who's not. So maybe he's making a lot of pulling moves, but keep an eye on that. Incomplete pass.
So much congestion there in the middle of the field. It doesn't really make any sense why he would choose to go there at that moment. Now he's looking at 4th down.
Yeah,
7.
And his quarterback's been struggling 4 for 8 with an interception. And that was indeed his left guard, who is fairly fatigued out there.
He's going to go for it.
It's a 4th and 7.
Big play here for Foreman.
And he's short.
Pass is complete, yes, but well short.
You got to always question that. Why are you throwing the ball short of the sticks? Just doesn't seem to be a great decision. Wow. And some trash talking from the peanut gallery. Rob Thompson just called out Garrett Hittner and said, I hope you lose.
If Garrett doesn't make fun of his outfit today, I'm
we pride ourselves on sportsmanship at times, but wow, that is bold.
Whoa! And Foreman comes up with the interception. It's going to be like a punt return. There's a spin move, and brought down is Foreman.
And Rob is fist pumping on that play. Maybe he got in his head on that one. Holy cow. Ed Reynolds, the free safety, with a big interception.
A little bit
it caromed off his other defender.
A little bit of trip drill. Oh,
they had to hit pause to regroup real quickly.
Hittner might have thought about challenging that. So here we go. Foreman with 1:26 seconds left in the first half has a chance to march down the field. Here's a screen pass. It worked out for him well the first time. That one is stuffed.
Such disrespect. Just walks through the screen there. That's Rob Thompson. I don't know what to say about that.
I don't know about the all-black outfit with the screaming yellow shoes.
Yeah, he's never been one to have great style. Must be a Rhode Island thing.
Here's a scramble and a slide. In safely with a first down is the quarterback, as Foreman is piecing together a decent drive. Just a minute left here in the first half.
Does he moonlight on the Stanford Cardinal baseball team as well? That was a great slide there on that first down scamper.
A little bit surprised he knew the button is another strange choice, I guess I'll call it, to throw the ball where plenty of white shirts were.
Indeed. And we're under a minute to go in this second quarter, first half. Again, Hittner with the 6-0 advantage right now. Both teams have made several miscues on offense.
You know, the Ohio State defense has played huge in this one. Another pass broken up there as Foreman shakes his head. Can't really figure out how to get anything going through the air.
Yeah, and he hasn't really figured out how to get anything going all tournament, to be quite frankly.
That's true. He's only ever scored 7 whole points, which is just one touchdown.
Mark, you're up there.
And he says that, but
he fires back.
Fans at home can't really see our setup. We're literally just like 3 stands up from him. So
he does have the controller in his hand.
But we are up there, I guess.
He also got a soft semifinal matchup.
Yeah, Gonfalopoulos, if he's watching at home, I was not too impressed with his performance playing as the Georgia Bulldogs.
He's got a lot of years left, though.
He does.
Just a freshman here at PLU.
I have a feeling he might contend for E-Sports Bowl 2 next season in 2019.
But when people start to see this, I think that they'll be all over trying to be involved with this tournament. The growth is going to be exponential when it comes to E-Sports Bowl 2.
I think so, too. And just esports on campuses around the country. It's a growing sport. Usually it's League of Legends and some of those nerd games I don't really know much about. But, you know, actually playing sports games on video games, that's kind of what I'm all about. I don't know, Christian, your thoughts?
Well, I don't know, just because you don't know about said games, if you could label them as nerd games.
Oh, I'm labeling it as such.
Okay, well, I mean, there's no comment left for me to make.
Now,
I
that
guess.
said, they are on ESPN2 now, and certainly a pretty big following, but I've seen it a few times, and none of what happens makes any sense to me.
Correct. Hittner has the ball back. I guess Foreman failed to convert a 4th down while we were talking about nerd video games.
Yeah, I totally got distracted here.
So Hittner going to try and put points on the board with 34 seconds left in the first half. Can he do it? Here's the snap, shotgun snap, looking down the middle of the field. A is wide open. He doesn't throw the ball. It is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass.
You know, you got to pull the trigger on that one. There was a brief moment that A was indeed wide open.
I mean, couldn't
would
have
have set him up in field goal range, although their kicker, you got to think that miss has to be in his head right now.
Oh, it's definitely in his head. A fairly easy 30-ish yard field goal that he absolutely missed. Could be leading 9-0. Instead, it's just 6-0. Fakes the handoff, looking down the field. Now throw towards the sideline, and getting out of bounds is the receiver after the completed catch. Just 22 seconds remain in the first half.
Nice throw to the boundary there. And reminder to fans at home, clock actually stops on first downs, unlike the NFL. So they do have a little bit of time. If you do the hurry-up offense, really no time runs off the clock.
Pass is completed across the middle of the field. And
great spin move by the receiver on that one.
Has anyone called a timeout this half?
No, they have not. Stanford has.
I think they both have. I just missed when they did that.
Yeah, we haven't been the most on top of it broadcast.
15 seconds remain in the first half. Hittner looking for a man. Finds RB. He is tackled. He has to call a timeout now. I believe he does.
And by RB, are you talking about the running back or actually controller RB?
I think it was the controller RB, but both. Essentially,
okay.
It was both. But
alrighty.
Hittner's got a kick. Well, 8 seconds left, it looks like. Maybe time for one more play and a timeout. Here it comes from Hittner. Takes the snap, looking. Throws towards the end zone. Pass is
caught, but he'll be just short, 1st and goal.
Huge decision here.
On the 1-yard line.
Huge decision. He's got one timeout.
But, I mean, by the time a play is run, unless you're running an insanely fast slant route or something of that nature, I don't think you're going to get off another play.
Think you could sell out on the run here if you're Foreman defensively?
I would. I'd almost go and punt block or something of that nature.
Oh, what a slow! He got the timeout off, though, with 1 second remaining.
Holy cow. That could go down as one of the plays of the game.
So with 1 second left in the first half, Hittner is scrolling through offensive plays right now.
Yeah, I think he's kind of rattled. He doesn't know what to do.
Strictly business, can't make his mind up. It's a 19-yard field goal from here. And
no confidence in that kicker. No confidence in that kicker.
Huge play here. Here's the toss.
Another toss.
Oh! What a stand by Foreman as he will head to halftime with our score. It is Hittner 6, Foreman 0.
Does Garrett ever learn? He's done that play now twice, and now with it being halftime, we'll talk to each athlete before the second half gets underway. So first we'll talk to Garrett Hittner, whose team is ahead 6-0. So we'll wait for Garrett to come up here and then get a few comments from him.
Oh, let's jump in here, Garrett. Just click on it to switch.
That was 2K.
Here we are with Garrett Hittner enjoying a 6-0 lead. Garrett, talk a little bit about the last stand there defensively from Foreman and what you failed to do and add on to your lead.
Good defense.
From Foreman, not you, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. What do you make of that missed field goal you had? You could be leading 9-0 instead it's just 6-0.
It was a bad kick.
Why was it a bad kick?
Bad angle.
Bad angle. There was going to be a bad angle either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, bad kick, I have no answer. He told me he was going to do this before the game. I don't know how to combat this.
I don't know what he's talking about.
What's the meaning of life?
To play football.
There you go. I'm going to let Hittner get out of here. He's enjoying a 6-0 lead in E-Sports Bowl 1. So what do you actually got one more question? What are you going to do differently here in this second half to hang on to your eventual championship if you can?
Do better. Score more points.
There it is. Garrett Hittner going to head out. We're going to talk to the man who is trailing right now at this moment. It is Dylan Foreman, who, despite plenty of chances for Hittner, still only trails by just a touchdown. And, of course, the extra point could give him that lead as Foreman jumps in here. What do you make of that first half, Dylan?
Oh, boy. Ugly. Really, really ugly.
How so?
My passing game is just in the dumpster right now. Big dumpster fire on offense. Defense, I'm proud of my defense for holding strong in a lot of different situations. A couple picks, a goal line stand right there, but something's got to change on the offensive end, Christian.
So what are you going to do differently on that offensive end? What are you going to go to?
Well, I mean, the glare is a little hard to deal with, and to see all the open receivers, but I would say I'm not going to give you my game plan when I'm in the second half.
It's because he doesn't know it. So that's Dylan Foreman. He trails right now 6-0 in the first ever E-Sports Bowl. So we're going to let these two get back to action. Mark Albanese will rejoin me here in the press box thing, and we'll get back to playing.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Dylan was talking about the glare. I don't really know where that glare is coming from. It's overcast today.
From 3 rows up, the glare is not that big of a deal. I mean, we have seen the open receivers that Foreman has failed to miss. I don't know why he hasn't. He could be not that good.
Could be that. Very perplexing. So second half about underway here.
Foreman will get the ball back to start things off. And that kick is way in the back of the end zone. Foreman gets away and takes the touchback. We're going to get a tighter shot here on the TV, see if you can see what will happen here down the stretch. Oh, yeah, you can see that.
Well, if not, you'll get the great audio tunes of Mark Albanese and Christian Bond. Or Midwest Mark, as I'm called, apparently.
Yeah. You're from there, so that's how you got nicknamed. Midwest Mark Albanese.
So they're going to do some substitutions. Interesting.
After one play, too. Didn't even make a halftime adjustment.
Yeah.
Made a one play and then halftime adjustment.
Interesting.
Who's he going with? New running back? New quarterback?
I think he looked at the running back situation, but then kept his running back. I don't know why you'd swap him out. He's one of the best players on the team.
So here we go, Foreman looking at a 2nd and 2. Here is the handoff down the middle of the field. And this is, the ball is out, but it is recovered by Foreman in the Stanford Cardinal. Wow. This is, though, the adjustment that you needed to see. We talked about how he can't pass the ball right now. 2 run plays and a first down. And now we're going to have a review. I don't know. I don't know if there's been no good angles from these replays. He's probably down.
Yeah, and there was no change of possession either. It's just kind of where the ball's spotted. It's kind of an odd challenge or review to have. Again, that was prompted by the computer, not by any of our competitors. Kind of a baffling challenge there.
That's really why they quit making this game. They couldn't figure out.
I'm sure that's what it is,
When
Christian.
was the
No other reason.
time?
No other reason at all.
You're so salty about it. Here's another great run play by Foreman, and he has made the proper adjustments as he is pounding the ball down the middle of the field and getting closer to tying this thing up and maybe even potentially taking the lead from Hittner.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting if he scores. Does he go the kind of chicken out route and kicks the extra point, or does he try and go for 2 like Garrett Hittner did? Of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh! Pass is completed. It is a touchdown, Dylan Foreman, and we're all tied up at 6 apiece early in the third quarter.
That was Kelsey Young with the touchdown. It looks like the corner or safety over there just misplayed the ball.
I thought it was a terrible choice when he let go of it, but it turns out to be 6 points, and it looks like Foreman is going to try and kick the extra point and take the lead. Which realistically, I probably would too. Here's the kick. It is good right down the middle. And Dylan Foreman takes his first lead of the game. It's now Foreman 7, Hittner 6. And really, it'll be interesting to see how Hittner responds because this is the first time he's trailed in this tournament.
It has.
albeit by 1 point, as he brings it out of the end zone.
He's doing a lot of things he hasn't done before. We'll see how he can react to this. And, on the flip side is when Garrett scored to open the game, that was the first time Dylan had trailed.
That is true. That is true.
So certainly a back-and-forth seesaw affair today here at the PLU baseball field.
Pass play is intercepted. Foreman comes up with the grab. A turnover from Hittner, and Foreman has a chance to build on his newfound lead.
The third quarter is all about Foreman. The last 2 games, that's when he's really kind of come alive. Some great halftime adjustments here. Dare I say it, is he a genius tactician? He can make those changes on the fly?
I don't know if I'd go that far. If you can't do one part of the game, you do the other, and you do better. That just kind of makes sense.
Fair.
He couldn't pass the ball.
Touche. And a couple more fans start strolling into PLU Field. Check out this E-Sports Bowl 1 presented by Mackenzie Bond Hair at Salon 1121.
Foreman, couple of run plays now looking at a 3rd down and 2.
In a game like this, it's always tough to stop a team when it's short yardage and they have 2 plays to do it. Although Hittner was stuffed twice at the goal line before halftime, so it can be done. Missed tackle!
Oh!
And he scurries to the first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
It is 1st and goal.
And those missed tackles will kill you.
They
Kill
really
you
will.
every time.
Especially with the run game that Foreman has put out here in this second half.
Yeah.
First contact has to be last contact on every play.
Exactly.
Another handoff down the gut, stumbling forward, but just short of the goal line is Foreman. Little no-huddle action right here. Trying to get the same look from the defense.
And what will be interesting is if he scores here,
And he does.
Will he go for 2? Going for 2 would give him more than a 1-possession lead.
I think he's got to kick it here. I think he's got to kick it here just to make the return touchdown from Hittner, that 2-point conversion, a must.
That's fair. Put the pressure on, you need to score and get the 2, and he's lining up to kick.
Bang, it's through. And all of a sudden,
As you hit the score there.
we're all out of whack.
Get it together, Christian. As he's struggling with the score, we're back. It's 14-6.
Foreman 14, Hittner 6, and we'll see what Strictly Business can do to respond. He's really got to go to work here.
Good news, still plenty of time in this ball game. 2:32 left in the third quarter.
Nice run play there from Hittner to maybe get a little momentum going.
So the good news, he doesn't have to abandon the run game just yet.
He can chip away. He's had much more success through the air than Foreman has, however. Despite the 2 interceptions. Goes the other way from the screen. Not a move you see very often.
That was just an ugly pass. I don't know what exactly he was looking at on the screen there.
3rd down, 7 yards to go.
So a 3rd and 7. Kind of a crucial play here.
It is.
Poor Hittner needs to keep this drive alive.
Especially being on his side of the field right now.
Ball is snapped. There's a throw over the middle of the field. Pass is incomplete. A 4th and 7 looming for Garrett Hittner.
And this is a big decision here. We haven't seen a punt all game. Does he punt already down a score?
I think that it being in the 3rd quarter, I would probably lean towards doing that and then trusting the defense that was so strong in that first half. Of course, keeping Foreman scoreless.
Yeah, now the big wild card is we technically haven't seen the special teams perform yet. We don't know if he knows how to kick very well. I mean, obviously his special teams in terms of field goal kicking was subpar at best. We'll see what he can do with the punter.
Ball launched down the field. Going to be near the 20-yard line. Ball takes a hop. It's inside the 5, and that's where it will be downed.
And that's what you want to see from your punter. Great kick. down to about the 4-yard line.
So a good move there is, got to imagine Hittner might sell out for the run a little bit more here on this defensive stand.
And Hittner's kind of playing the field position battle now, having kicked that.
Oh, he's
him in the
behind the line
backfield.
of scrimmage. As now he's going to force the hand of Foreman, who's backed up against his own end zone.
It's going to be 2nd and 12 on the 3-yard line. And, you know, you're that deep. Kind of limits your playbook to some extent. Want to avoid that safety.
Foreman tried to draw the offsides instead of completed pass near the first down line.
That's going to be 3rd and inches.
Oh, man. Good news is that there could be a recruit here seeing the first ever eSports Bowl.
Correct. Might sway him to come here.
If this doesn't draw you to PLU, I don't know what would.
Well, exactly. Talk about putting our best foot forward. It is this.
Foreman converts the first down. So a missed opportunity there for Hittner as Foreman gets a little breathing room.
Yeah, and more importantly, can shorten the game here, chew up some clock. Less than a minute left in this 3rd quarter. If he plays this smart, he couldn't conceivably put this game away with a extended
Another great
drive.
screenplay, and Foreman has busted this wide open. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. It is a touchdown for Dylan Foreman, and he extends his lead. It is now Foreman 20, Hittner 6.
That was a backbreaker right there. There's a defensive breakdown in the secondary, and Foreman makes him pay.
Extra point is good. Our score now sits. It is Foreman 21, Hittner 6. As we get closer to the 4th quarter, Hittner's got a lot of work to do.
The pressure is on. Strictly business, the 4 seed. I think for him, he's wondering, has the clock struck midnight? Is it time for Cinderella to, well, whatever the Cinderella story is, it involves something with clock striking midnight, and there's glass slippers. My memory is a bit hazy on that one.
I thought it was, they're not that good, but they did good.
Okay, there's that too.
That's the Cinderella story to me.
Okay.
Never seen the movie.
I'm talking about the actual story of Cinderella.
Does the actual story matter that much, though?
It probably does not.
There you go.
Well, back on the gridiron. Hittner has a 2nd down play. He'll run it.
Option. Oh! That could have been so much more. I got excited for him. It was nothing. 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Keeping the no huddle.
Hittner does have the ability to score points as he thrashed you earlier in the semifinal round.
Yeah, he did thrash me. That was an accurate statement. I did not stop him a single drive in the 2nd half.
Large hit there from Foreman. Clock winding down. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. So you could see Foreman's beak enter the screen.
He has to stretch it out a little bit, hydrate. You know, keep in mind these guys are finely tuned athletes here playing esports. Got to keep those thumbs nimble, stay hydrated, make sure your thumbs don't cramp up.
So we start the 4th quarter, Mark. I need predictions out of you as what we're going to see down the stretch.
I mean, I think, you know, Hittner's going to, he's going to be throwing the kitchen sink out there, maybe some razzmatazz plays we haven't seen before.
Correct.
For Foreman, it's just keep doing what he's doing. You know, don't make any stupid mistakes. Make sure you don't turn the ball over. And, you know, I think if he does that, he's in a pretty good position right now to pull out the win at the inaugural PLU SID eSports Bowl.
Another interception. Foreman picks that one off, and he's got a lot of grass in front of him, makes his way towards the sideline before being knocked out of bounds, and Foreman could seal the deal here.
That was just a soul-crushing INT there.
You know, Mark, I've been thinking about it as this game has worn on, and I don't really want either of these guys to win the first ever PLU SID eSports Bowl, but
Well, who would you have preferred to have win?
Chloe.
That would have been good. Of course, Chloe a forfeit in the play-in game. Was a little afraid to play Hittner. Maybe next year Chloe will have a little more confidence in her esports ability.
Yeah, Chloe's my only choice because I definitely didn't want you to win and I didn't want Zach to win either. So it had to be
harsh.
Chloe.
That's harsh.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, I'm sure my ego would be a little too big.
I mean, you
had
haven't
won.
stopped talking about yourself, even though you have lost in
That's a
most of
fair
the things
point.
you've talked about throughout this broadcast.
That's a fair point. There's kind of a trend
That's the
there.
end zone. Touchdown, Foreman. This one is over. Why are we even going to play the final 4 minutes as Foreman extends the lead? It is Foreman 27, Hittner 6.
I think we're in danger of a rage quit at some point based on how this one's going.
Yeah, we could see that controller out there near second base.
That's why we have the protective netting here. People think it's for baseball games and keeping foul balls out of the stands. It's more so Garrett can't chuck the controller on the field.
That's incredibly accurate.
Instead, if he chucks the controller, it's just going to rebound right back at him.
We haven't talked about the mascot for the Stanford Cardinal. That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, the Stanford tree?
Yeah, it looks like a pickle in this video
Well,
game.
maybe that's why Dylan likes it.
Oh, there you go. Wow, we have just connected all of the dots.
That is why he likes Stanford. What's the dill?
Yep.
Tree looks like a dill pickle.
Yep.
Boom. Case closed.
I would say he would like Stanford because he's enjoying a 28-6 lead with just 4 minutes left. in
That
E-Sports
certainly
Bowl.
helps.
The second half adjustments for Foreman, absolutely absurd as he has really put it to Hittner here.
Yeah, and Stanford, known by many people as the PLU of California.
I have no words to support that. I think that you should in your next sentence.
Okay, well, people have said that. Multiple people have said that.
You and Rob?
Multiple people have said that.
You and Rob and Andy, good to know. Here we go. Hittner trying to put some points on the board. Nice little pass there. He will get out of bounds. I like that move.
Shifty, it's smart, stops the clock.
I think he scores here, and I think he does get the onside kickback, but I think that's as far as this one's going to get.
Okay, well, actually, it does not stop the clock. I think it only stopped.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
This is video game rules. I think it only stops inside like 2 minutes or so. I don't know. That was odd. It did not stop.
Oh, big contact there.
And a user tackle, too.
Why am I oohing and awing? It's a video game.
Oh, you're getting very excited. The intensity is just off the charts. I
Oh,
know
goodness.
it's a 22-point game. Garrett is getting crushed right now. Down 3 scores in a 2-point conversion.
Fadeaway throw into triple coverage. Another interception. Oh, Garrett Hittner just throwing the towel now.
And for the Stanford fans in attendance, they can feel this. The energy is palpable that they could win the first title.
I think we got to break the fourth wall here. There is one person here that showed up to watch.
That is correct.
Pretty
Well,
impressive.
1.5. Rob was here for a while.
I don't know if you can count that as a while, though. I mean, he was there for like all of 3 minutes.
Well, Rob does have a short attention span, so for him, that was probably a really long time.
Sure.
It's all relative, Christian. It's all relative.
Why is the head of intramurals?
Exactly.
Quick bursts.
No way a guy like that could handle 2 baseball games in one day.
We were at the intramural championship game last night, and the teams entered with a record of 5-0 and
Yeah.
6-1.
Yeah, grueling
What a
season.
grueling season. All 7
Grueling
of those
season.
games were really just
You
a
know,
lot.
a softball game every 3 days. It's a grind, man.
It lasted an hour, so it's good stuff. Foreman trying to wear down some time. Well, not really, because he's getting up there and snapping the football.
I think he's just playing for stats right now.
I would, too.
Trying to bump up his tournament scoring average.
He could only go up. Of course, only scoring 7 in the semifinal game.
But interestingly enough, most likely, regardless of outcome, Garrett Hittner would be the quote-unquote scoring champion of the tournament.
It's because you suck defensively, Mark.
Well, thank you, Christian, for the brutally honest assessment of my video game defensive skills.
Foreman just absolutely aired it out.
He did. He is
With
not.
a huge lead.
He is not holding back. Sportsmanship be damned.
Absolutely.
Just rubbing it in.
I
Showboating.
hope he throws another pass into the end zone right here.
Conventional wisdom is you just run the ball when you're up 3 scores in the final quarter.
I should have thrown it. That's a loss right there
But
on the ground.
that playbook is lost on Mr. Foreman, who just keeps wanting to pile it on.
It's about time someone take that attitude here. Fakes the handoff, looking, now scrambling, running away from a defender near the Pac-12 logo. He'll throw it down the sideline. It's incomplete.
Well, it could have been a sack on that play, but a premature dive by Garrett Hittner with the defensive end allowed the corner or allowed the quarterback to get the edge on that one.
The twitchy thumbs of Hittner have proven to be costly with a couple of interceptions
It's all
on
that
the day. And
It's all that fast twitch muscle fiber he has from being a sprinter. Everything just in fast forward for him. Sometimes that's not a good decision.
I actually raced Garrett Hittner one time.
That
Total
probably didn't go too well for you, did
60
it?
yards. Yeah, he finished and I had just got 20 yards. Here's a scramble from Foreman. Ball is dropped. It is picked up by Hittner, and he'll be down near the 2-yard line. So, that would mean a lot more if this was like 7-6 or something competitive. But
yeah, I
it's
kind of
not,
feel the
so.
damage has already been done. But, going back to Foreman, that's what happens when you try and get cocky. You're trying to run up the score. Make a couple, dare I say, boneheaded mistakes.
Now Hittner, with 1:15 left in the game, has to figure out how to score a lot of points. And he just burned a timeout for no reason.
Yeah,
After the turnover, can't figure out what play he wants to run, burns a timeout. There's no wonder he's down 22 points here.
Need to get it together. That's just amateur hour. To any fans who heard some of those comments, I apologize for some of those vulgar words coming from Garrett Strictly Business Hittner.
He's got time to trash you real quick.
Yeah.
As he loses 28-6 here, the first ever eSports Bowl. Are you going to start like a page on goloots.com for this?
We'll see. We're getting a new website come June 1, so maybe perhaps we could shoehorn something in somewhere about this storied turnover.
Oh, another
interception.
Hittner, this one could go for 6 instead. He's brought down, and Foreman could probably sit on this one and call it a day. Will he do that? Probably not, but this one's all over.
And he can smell that burrito card, or at least the burrito that card purchases.
You say it was $20?
Yeah, that's right.
Man,
That's at least
a couple burritos.
That's at least 2 burritos. Unless you're getting a lot of guac and double meat, that might put you over the edge.
Foreman does strike me as a double meat kind of guy.
I feel like he is double meat, guac, maybe some queso to boot. Pico de gallo, perhaps.
You know what we don't have to wonder about? What Garrett Hittner is, because there's no way he's getting that burrito card.
That is correct, as there's 15 seconds left. I think Dylan will be content to just kind of wind this down.
Let's see if Foreman goes for a Michael Bennett-esque rage fight here. He will not. Foreman tries to pound it into the end zone, and he does. Let's add on to that final score as Foreman puts 6 more on the board. It is now Foreman 34, Hittner 6.
And this is just an utter bloodbath right now. And he's going for 2 to make it an even 30-point victory. I love it. I love it. But I do not love that play call. The only thing that would be better if he does an onside kick right now. He should call a timeout and do an onside kick.
No,
he doesn't.
Kick it deep, and that's this one.
Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Okay, Hittner gets 1 play. 1 play to probably throw another interception.
I feel like we should almost enact next score wins just to make this interesting.
Even that couldn't make it interesting.
Wow, no faith.
No.
In the Hail Mary abilities of Garrett Hittner.
What do you have, 4 interceptions today, Garrett, or 3?
I believe it was 4.
Oh my! So why? So why should we even make the next score win? Dylan's going to intercept the ball, and we're going to go.
One would wonder if you maybe want to dabble with a backup quarterback on this last play.
And Hittner gaining some time, throws it back across the field. Guess what?
Batted down, ball game. So your champion of the PLU SID Esports Bowl 1, presented by Mackenzie Bond Hair at Salon 1121, is Dylan Foreman with the 34-6 victory. Pit stains everywhere on the jersey. He has pitted it out with his epic display of esports gamesmanship. And real quick, we'll bring him on the broadcast for some final thoughts on his victorious performance, followed by a trophy presentation.
Dylan working his way up here to talk about the amazing win. And, we go back to the halftime interview. He didn't want to give away his adjustments he was going to make in the second half. But I feel like now you have free reign to talk about it after being blanked in the first half and putting up 34 huge points to get the inaugural eSports Bowl championship.
Well, the kind of figure out what I had to do the second half, I realized that Stanford's very much a running team, team first, and I got away from that in the first half, and I just kind of got myself in good situations, couple first downs, ground and pound a little bit, and then opened it up for some play action. That's where I got all those scores.
After that initial drive, Hittner really wasn't anything special. Were you surprised about the lack of competition Hittner proved to be?
Well, I mean, in the score against Mark Albanese, I thought that it was going to be like a super high-scoring game, and it wasn't. And I'm not discrediting Garrett. I'm going to credit more so my defense, because Stanford's defense is really good, but kind of is a testament to how bad Mark must actually be, though.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll discredit Hittner. He was not anything special after that first drive, so I'm a little disappointed. Thought this would be a better game, but Hittner is going to angrily walk away. Strictly Business has had his fill for esports for the day. Hope I didn't hurt his feelings. I probably could have. Sorry, Garrett. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, he is not a fan of you or Mark right now.
He is not happy. I'm going to wave to him, see if he waves back. Could see a middle finger. Oh, nothing. Strictly Business. See, what a nice guy. What a nice guy. So I believe Mark Albanese is going to present you now with the trophy. You can make your way down there. Congratulations on being the inaugural champion.
Despite all the crap talking in the back of my ear, I thank you guys for coming out and giving some really grade A commentary.
I thought it was great, yeah.
It was fantastic.
About time. Get some recognition around here. Thank you, Dylan.
Oh, yeah. We're having like a picture.
Yeah, we'll take a picture at some point.
So here they are. The commissioner and the champion, as he is awarded his burritos, whether they be double meat or not. Foreman can eat well as we leave PLU Field. Mark, going to rejoin me here in the press box area. Mark, your final thoughts on the inaugural tournament and the eventual champion, Dylan Foreman.
Just great game, great athleticism all around, and it's the start of something big.
I think it is too. I can't wait to watch this one back. And
yeah, well, maybe we'll try and bring you back for that broadcast. We'll see if we can pull some strings, get you down here from Ellensburg, and
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I can definitely make arrangements to get back over here on this side of the mountain to call this, especially this. Any other thing you asked me to do would probably be a stiff no right away. But to come back and do the
stiff no, that stings. That stings.
The eSports Bowl 2, I cannot wait.
Alrighty.
Take us out of here, Mark. Let's
well, from Mark Albanese and Christian Bond, this was eSports 1. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next year.